Here we are talking about when we don't have enough or when we won't have enough. We don't have enough would be, let us say today, that we don't have enough to meet our needs. And when we say we won't have enough, it's the thought that whatever we need for us to go through this particular month or this year, we don't have enough. So that would be us looking into the future and creating lack for ourselves. So when we think about we don't have enough today itself, how will we even go through? We have certain number of desires, we have certain number of necessities that we need to take care of. And when we think of those necessities that we need to take care of, and let's say we don't have enough in the bank in the moment, then we immediately come into lack because we don't have enough. And that's where the thoughts will go into the lack. Let us say, you have to pay your son's admission fee and you don't have enough for this month, then immediately lack is created. But let us say, when we say we won't have enough, then it means that this time, as we sit in the now, we are already projecting for ourselves a future that is not serving us. So, in the future, when we think that whatever is our state today, we won't have enough, this state will continue. And when we think of our future in that way, and we constantly give energy to that thought that we won't have enough, and then we create reasons why we won't have enough. We won't have enough in the future because our business is not doing well today. We won't have enough in the future because the share market is going down. We won't have enough in the future because my job is not going anywhere and I'm not doing well in my job. And we continue with these line of thinking, and then we project it into the future. And then what happens? When we sit in the frequency of lack deeper and deeper, then only lack gets built more and more. And so as we build the lack of the future, the job to do, the only job to do, as usual, is to come into awareness that we are simply sitting in lack. Come into awareness that we are simply sitting in lack. What is it that we have to recognize about lack? That it's a frequency. It's just that. It's a frequency. We, on a particular day, can focus our eyes on something and how beautiful something is. And on that particular day, we have tuned into the frequency of abundance. We can find things flowing, and then we take our attention away from all that is not flowing. And then comes another day and we shift. And today we find everything that's not working for us. What has happened? Has anything changed so drastically on the outside? No. But what has changed is where you put attention. So today, let us say, if you have put your attention on all the have nots, I don't have this and I don't have that. And then you start this line of thinking, then that's where you are sitting in lack. The more you sit in this frequency, the deeper you create for yourself this very frequency. Maybe after some time today, you will recognize that, oh, it's really not that I don't have enough today. I have enough today. I have enough for the month. Let's see what happens next month. Even when you say that and you move your attention away, I want you to now sit and think about it. How much time have you already spent in thinking, I don't have, I don't have? And when we think about I don't have, then that is what is going to manifest. Once again, I keep telling all of you that, any of these emotions don't have buckets. That, okay, I don't have at the workplace, but at home, I have. No, in the energy, everything gets intermingled. In the energy, there are no barricades saying, oh, at work I have. At work, I have success, but at home, I have total failure in all my relationships. Well, if you keep putting your attention more on the failure, what's going to happen? What is going to happen is that even at work, that energy pot where you have this failure written over and over again, a lack of relationship, lack of a good relationship, then what's going to happen is that that is going to carry through to other parts of your life as well. And so that's why it is so important to be able to observe who you are, where you are coming from, and then to change that. And then in the changing itself, as I always tell everybody, the whole idea is not to run away. Lag is such a beautiful thing that it makes itself available every now and then, several times in a day. In a day, you just simply release lack of something and some other lack will come. And what is it tied to? It is tied to two things. One is your desires, and your desires and dreams, and they will keep you in lack. And the second part is, as I mentioned, the necessity itself, this thought of what is required by you. Your requirements, if not met, are going to immediately take you into lack, and then your dreams and desires for the future will keep you into lack. And that's why I keep telling people that let go of your dreams and desires. And then people will come and ask me, but if we let go of our dreams and desires, we will never achieve them, will we? And here it is, not just you have lack, but you also have fear of lack. You also have fear of the future. So when somebody comes and tells me that, I tell them to candle two things now. One is the lack itself, the lack that tomorrow won't be good, and that's already creating lack. And then sorry, the lack over here is your dream and desire that I am not this, I need to achieve this. I am not that, and I need to become that. And that's where you put your goals and ambitions, your dreams and desires of who you need to be, what is it that you want in life. And you keep, you try to keep those blinders on, and then you try to work towards those goals. Even as you work towards those goals, what is the energy that you are working with? I don't have. I need that because I don't have. And that's the energy that I'm wanting you to shed. Put an eye onto what emotions, what vibrations are you giving out into the universe. Because guess what? Those are the vibrations that are going to come back at you. Will they bite you? Only if you send bites out. Will they kiss you? Only if you send kisses out. And so that's why send out gratitude. And how do we send out gratitude? By constantly being in awareness of all that we have and not putting our eyes on what we don't have or what I need to achieve. And then what will happen? Let's say you've got a goal in mind and now you're working towards that goal. But as you keep taking steps, that goal is still out there in the future for you, and you still keep operating from that lack. You call it ambition, you call it drive, and you constantly remind yourself, I still don't have that. I still don't have that. And then what happens? One day you get that. As you get that, what will happen? Oh, you'll be really tremendously happy. And then what? That's not the end of your life, is it? It's going to be that the next day you will be breathing again. And so, as you breathe again the next day, you're going to have to create another goal for yourself because you've tied your happiness to achieving that goal. So, one goal is finished, and now you're going to have a next goal and a next goal. And so, constantly, you are basing your happiness, your internal peace, your joy, you're basing everything on receiving, on achieving something outside of you. As you achieve that thing outside of you, yes, in that moment, you will receive a lot of joy. But what's happened along the way? Let's say it took you 3 years to get there. In those 3 years, you postponed your happiness, your big time joys that you might have received. You postponed that because you tied all your joy to one event happening. And then when I say change your energy, and let go of your goals and desires. Will you really be totally able to let go? Probably not. But what do I mean when I say let go of your goals and desires and dreams. I actually mean let go of the outcome, that this is the way it needs to play out. This must happen. This needs to happen. This is where we put outcomes in place. And the outcome doesn't necessarily have to be at work. The outcome could be something like a marriage, that I need to find a boy. I need to get married. I'm only going to be happy. All my friends are married, all my friends are settled, and now I need to settle down. And for settling down, I need a boy. So you go scouting around boy, 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 boy. And yes, maybe you'll find a boy. And then what will happen? You'll wake up the next day after you are married, and life is still not over. Life is the next breath and the next breath. You found the boy, now what? Major happiness. And then again, there will be a lull. And now you will need another goal. And that goal might be children. Okay, I'm only going to be happy when I have children and it's a family. And then what? So then you keep moving from one goal to another goal to another goal. The goal is outside of you. Your joy is tied to things outside of you. Once you have children, and then it'll be, oh, I'll be happy if they get into good schools. And then once they get into good schools, now I'll be happy when, when they excel in whatever they do. And so we are constantly creating goals, dreams, desires for ourselves on the outside. So as we were talking about, that goals necessarily don't have to be at work. Goals can be from a minute to minute. I need to get this done. And in this process, in this entire process, the one thing that I keep asking for you to do is to release your attachment to outcome. This needs to happen. This needs to happen in a certain way. Many people actually come to me and say, oh, I totally surrendered this to money. I want to do this job, and this needs to be done, and we need to get here. And then I don't know how to get there. So I surrender it to money. And then I say, well, if you're actually surrendering, then it would be that you would have completely taken away the outcome from the scenario as well. Then the outcome wouldn't exist, that this needs to happen or this should be done, but I don't know how to do it. So I've left it to money. And now money will make me do it. You've already decided what the outcome here looks like. And that is not surrender. That is called attachment to an outcome. And so when we let go of all outcomes and we surrender our wishes and desires to the universe, what happens in that moment? What happens is that even today, I will find big time joy in the smallest of things. I will be in Anand, I will be in Masti, I will find my happiness in everything that's happening around me. And as I find this happiness, is it that I'm not going to reach my goal? Well, maybe yes and maybe no, which is the case in both the scenarios. When I reach out with lack or when I reach out with joy, I might achieve my goal, I might not achieve my goal. But when I achieve my goal, it's going to be just yet another place of happiness, just yet another event of happiness, because I haven't tied up my happiness, my joy to reaching that goal. And so every single day, I will find so many things to be joyous about, to be enjoying. So as I enjoy my life, I'm not going to wait only for the goals to be fulfilled. Yes, in true state, we don't really wait for one goal to be accomplished. But what happens that, while we might enjoy the smaller things, but we are always still looking forward to that one lakh, that we need to fulfill. And when we are actually in the energy of Masti, as many of you who tune into the energy of Masti, into the energy of Meenal, what is it that you find? You find that even today, while nothing outside has changed, suddenly you are starting to find so much joy, just so much beauty in the sunrise itself. As you look at the same sun that you've probably seen for the last 30 years, but you look at it today, and today it has a deeper meaning, and you can see the miracle in the sunshine. And what happens? Your joy internally is getting deeper and deeper. And you are going to grow this joy more and not focus on the lacks that you have once you are in the energy, in the energy of masti, in the energy of equanimity. What is the best way to kill lack? The best way to kill lack is actually to go underneath it and look at the fear and release the fear. I won't have enough, or I don't have enough. And what is the worst that will happen when you don't have enough? I can't meet my children's fees. I can't get them married. I can't do travel. I can't do this. I can't do that. And so what if you can't do what is so when you start to think about it and then you say, okay, what will this get me? If I can pay my children's fees, oh, it'll give me a lot of satisfaction, and it'll give me, hope that I'm not screwing up their life, and it'll take me away from the guilt that I'm not able to do anything for my children. The minute you sit over here, you have guilt and you have fear, and you have on your shoulders responsibility. Well, guess what? Each of your children have already come with their energy field. Whatever you do for them, it's only because their energy field is allowing you to play that role for them. The day that that energy changes and they don't want to allow you, whatever it is that you are doing, things will turn out in such a way that you will stop playing an old role that you've been playing. And it can work in both ways. The bad roles, the villain roles can turn into nice, beautiful roles, and the beautiful roles can turn into villain roles, because it's all the energy play, and you are only in your energy field. Everybody else is working from their own. And so when we recognize that, immediately we understand that even if somebody comes to me, for example, this happens to me all the time. Sometimes when people come to me and ask for something, and I don't have money to give to them, or I don't have the means to give to them what they have, I look at myself and I see what is it that I'm feeling. And yes, many a times I'm feeling irritated that why I don't have. If I've given away, and then it must be that, if this person has come to me, I should be able to give to them because I sit in abundance. And then I recognize that money is not to do anything about abundance at all. And money is simply got to do with taken care of. Are you in this energy where you understand that I am taken care of? Then that is where abundance is. And that's the place where lack doesn't exist. When you come into the recognition that you are taken care of. But if you come into the place that, no, I have to take care of everything, I have to be here, I have to do this, then absolutely that is what is going to play out for you. You will have to do everything. You will not be taken care of. We were talking about how many, how many different places to look at as we sit in lack, or do we want to sit in abundance? And that's all a game of our awareness. Each time we go into lack, and I was talking about my own scenario, when somebody comes to me and asks me for, let us say, 25 lakh rupees, it's been happening a lot lately. And then as they ask me for money, I look within and I'm feeling very upset that I don't have the money to give to them. And then I come into this awareness of, well, I can't change anybody's luck. And so if it has to come through me, it'll show up. The money will show up if I have to give it to him. And if I don't have to give it to him, and I don't get to give it to him, can I change anything? If he has to receive it, he will. If not from me, from somewhere else. And so I let go of my lack, and I let go of my irritation. And yes, this is the way that I operate, by moving my needle from lack to abundance each time, letting go of the guilt, letting go of the fear. Many of the people also have a lot of programs of lack when it comes to asking for money. You don't have money, and now you've created all of these programs in your head which say that, okay, if you ask for money, you have a lower position. If you are the giver, then you have a higher position. And then what happens? The more you have to ask, and the more keep this keeps happening that you have to ask more and more. And each time you ask, you are not just creating lack for yourself, but you're also creating shame for yourself. So over here, what is it that you will release? You will release both. Because after all, what is money doing right now? Money is becoming a tool for you for shame. Money is becoming a tool for you for creating lack. Otherwise, when you are taken care of, the money will appear. Will the money appear to put into investments so that you can always have enough? No, that is not at all a guarantee. But when you understand that money is simply a tool, and a lot of money in the bank means nothing, it can vanish just like this. Whether your investments go bad, or sometimes the bank itself folds, the bank which has your money just folds up, and now you don't have that money. And then what does it do? Again, it becomes a tool for creating more lack in you. Why? Because that money that you saved was always saved in lack only. If you're just saving, saying, I need to create this bank account for myself, this bank balance for myself, because I'm going to need it in old age, because my children might not support me. And so I need to be financially independent. What have you done over here? I'm going to need money for my old age because I might fall sick, because I might have to go to the hospital, because I won't have enough at that time. I won't be earning. My children won't give to me. Lack, 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 lack in all of those places. Lack of love, lack of money, lack of health. You are creating, as you sit in these thoughts of lack, you are creating these futures for yourself. Please recognize that yes, these futures right now don't exist. You're actually creating as much energy as you put into this thought. If the thought comes once or twice and you are able to process the thought and you're able to release the fear from it, and then it comes again and you again release the fear, then will it be creating the same future? No. If you're working on yourself and you're bringing yourself to this place of faith that I will always have enough, I have enough, I will always have enough. So many people come to me saying, oh, we can't pay for this course. The Expect Miracle course is 12,000 rupees and we can't pay for this course. And I totally know that yes, they can. They have that 12,000 rupees and they can. But what's happening? The lack is playing. The lack is playing that no, no, I can spend this 12,000 rupees on so many other things that I need to. And this course, I would love to do it, but then I don't want to spend the money in it. What are you thinking over here? You're coming from limitedness. That if this gets over, then more won't be supplied to you. That this is the limited booty that you have, and you won't get more. And so, what is happening even over here? Lack. Your thought is of lack. What will happen if you do pay for the money for this course? What will happen? I don't know, but I do know that as this course gets done and you understand more and more of looking within, there will be more paths which will show up, and the lack will be released from a lot of other places as well. And so again and again, as I tell people, lack is not something that we can simply work on and release for once and then it's done, because we bring this to ourselves with every new thought. We get let go of a desire over here, and the next thing, without our knowing, without our paying attention to it, the next desire just suddenly crops up. A small desire, a large desire, it doesn't matter. Desire nevertheless. What is it that I would like you to do when the desire shows up? Simply look at the desire and not create a fixed outcome to this. Not a fixed outcome. If it happens, great. And if it doesn't happen, great. And then you let it go into the universe. Not tying yourself to, I really need this to happen again and again. So we don't know what we are going to pick up tomorrow. And going back to the place of how we keep releasing, and there's nothing that we can do but simply to keep observing every day, every moment. When a desire comes up, when a need comes up, we simply need to look at it and then let go. let go of the need, or let this needs to happen. If this doesn't happen, then XYZ. Not creating the outcomes for tomorrow, but rather just simply letting go of the need itself, knowing that you are taken care of. And that knowing, that energy of knowing, is what brings us to a place of peace today. And each time we go to lack, we have a choice. We can either continue more and more in that direction, feeling the necessity for something. As we look at our thoughts on a daily basis, um, when we find that there is too much lack, and the lack is continuing and continuing, and we are unable to give it up, that it only means that we haven't released the fears from underneath it. And so take a register, sit down with this thought. What is the worst that will happen? As you sit in the lack and you desperately need something, what is the worst that will happen? And what will happen if the worst happens? So go a few layers deeper, and you will definitely find fears that you haven't addressed. There is one thing called lack, and the other thing called fear of lack itself. So each time we are looking into the future and the future doesn't look happy to us, you can be rest assured that along with lack, you've put in some other fear along with it. And so now you need to go that you understand where all to look for lack: the lack in relationships, the lack in money, the lack in time, the lack in health, the lack outside around you. In all of these places is going to get created just like this. Stop looking into those topics, stop looking into the story, and simply, are you finding that you need something? Are you finding that you are desiring something? Are you finding that you are dreaming of something? Well, look at that dream and let it go gently. Just let it go out into the universe gently. Don't hold on to it. When you hold on to it, and yes, in the morning I even spoke about ambition and goals, and I said when we run after something, and that's again the same thing, as we run after ambition, as we run after goals, then we are going to keep creating more and more lack for ourselves. Even if we hit that goal, even if we make it to that ambition, we've already created so much of lack for ourselves along the way that it's going to play out somewhere. So, keeping all the attention focused on the energy and moving from a place of peace, moving from a place of joy in all aspects of life. And that becomes our only everyday goal. It's an every moment goal for us. Are we operating from peace? Are we operating from unpeace? And let's say we are not operating from peace. If you're operating from unpeace, then that's the goal. That's our self goal, to bring us back to peace. And what is it that is stopping us from this peace? What is keeping us from this peace? Probably fear. And that fear is creating lack in you. Then just simply let go, because you are taken care of. And so when you sit, I mean, I think that this is the mantra that I have. At least I follow this all the time. Whenever something puts me into lack, I recognize that no, this is a lack that belongs to this person, and that's okay. If somebody else is operating from lack, they are also taken care of by their energy. I am taken care of by my energy, and so I will continue to be in joy. And I know that money is going to take care of me, and money does so. This is the cutest thing. It's a very small story, but it's a story of how tiny little desires appear. So I'm in the next week. I'm not going to be doing this Saturday workshop. We might have a small session or something, because we're a large group of us who are going to Uttarakhand. As we go to Uttarakhand about 15 days ago, when we started to crystallize these plans, what happened? Everybody who's been to Uttarakhand in the last 1 month, they said, Uttarakhand has a whole host of requirements, and we need to do all kinds of COVID tests to get there, the RT-PCR, and there's some registration that is needed, etc., etc. And I looked at that, and a desire pops up, right? Oh my God, I just really don't want to get anything poked in my nose. So I really hope that I don't have to get this test done. at a very small level, but this is a desire. And then I just laughed and I said, okay, what is it? What am I fearful of? I'm actually fearful of something being poked into my nose. So I let go of that fear. I said, it's okay. Even if I um, even if I let go of this fear, even if something goes into my nose, it's going to be okay. Thousands of people are getting their COVID test done. And I was just like, I don't want this done. I know thousands of people are getting it done, but I couldn't care for these pokey things inside my nose. And I sat with this thought and I recognized that even as I just say it in jest, I do recognize that I have fear. And so I let go of the fear underneath this desire. And then I let go of it. And I said, yeah, okay, fine. Now I'm ready because I've let go of the fear itself. Now I'm ready. Now, if it requires a poke in the nose, so be it. And so, what happens as we get ready to go to Uttarakhand, yesterday or day before, the government of Uttarakhand has taken off all prohibitions, all COVID tests, nothing. We just simply need to land up over there and everything is open, and nothing is required for us. And so I was just laughing because I can see the universe playing in my favor. I can see even in the smallest of things that yes, I am taken care of. Something so beautiful happened even yesterday. I have very, very large knives, and I'm just these small stories to tell you that lack doesn't have to appear in big things. Fears don't have to appear in big things. It happens at all times, just like that. But where is your attention focused? And that's your frequency. So, because my frequency is always focused on masti, I managed to get that from so many of these smallest of incidents around me. So, in my house, I have a large number of knives, and all my knives are really, really big and sharp. I love working with sharp knives and just chopping them. And I'm pretty much I do the master chef kind of thing when I'm chopping. But yesterday, as I was sitting and I was chopping some carrots, the knife slipped out of my hand. This really, really sharp and huge knife, a big knife, it totally slipped out of my hand. And within a few seconds, and I was literally, it was like in slow motion, but it went and it went right at my finger. It went right at my finger. And I'm telling you that my finger should have chopped off. My finger totally should have chopped off. And then what happened? It just made a slight dent next to my nail. And a lot of blood started to come out. But I was just amazed to see that, wow, the finger didn't get cut. And I was immediately in so much of gratitude that, wow, some it should have totally, in another frequency, the finger should have been chopped off because it fell right. That big huge knife fell right at my finger at an angle. And yet the only thing that happened was a tiny little cut. And yes, a lot of blood came out from that. And then we were able to totally immediately repair it as well. So what happens in this? I mean, what all did I create? What all got created in that moment of the blood coming out? Oh my God, what happened? No, that didn't get created at all. I'm just watching the blood come out, and I was so filled with gratitude because I could see the miracle. So, in that place where everybody was like, oh my God, I told you not to keep these large knives and they are so dangerous. And I say, no, nothing is dangerous. I didn't create any fear and nothing at all. But I actually was able to see the miracle in this as the knife fell and cut my finger. So again, either I can go into the fear side of things, or I can go into the abundance side of things, the gratitude side of things. And now the gratitude just simply comes to me naturally, normally. And as I always say to everybody, gratitude is the key to all the locks in the universe. The more gratitude you have, even for the lack, even for what you haven't received, when you can be in gratitude for that, what you haven't received, and then the universe starts to give you more and more peace, more and more joy, more things to be grateful for. So that's how we work our energy, by not putting, even in this, I need to be in a frequency. so that I can get to this outcome. I need to be so many people, at least initially when they start out, they say, Meenal, I want to be in your frequency because your frequency carries abundance. And then I need to get this deal done. I need to get this project moving. I need to do this business. I need to start this business. And for that reason, I need to be in your energy. And I constantly tell people our job is not to put our eyes on the outcomes, on what we want to create. It gets created automatically from the energy that we are. And so our job is simply to release ourselves from the clutches of these outcomes. So let go of outcomes. The outcomes, whatever it is, beautiful, even more beautiful, will happen on their own. They will happen in areas where you're not even looking, and you probably might not even understand that as a play of your energy. But I'm telling you that this is how things play out. So let go of your old programs that are not serving for you. These programs, just the okay, one more story. Just because I this topic, I deal with this topic almost every webinar of mine. Lack. And yet again it came up today because we can't have, we don't have, we won't have, we won't have enough. And every time we think in these terms, and how it shows up in the smallest of things. I'm involved with an NGO, and just a few days ago, so many of you know that NGO as well. It's Project Y. And a few days ago there was a we find that we are in shortfall, we are in monetary shortfall, and we don't have the budget that we need. We don't have the resources for it. So everybody went out looking, and I normally reach out to my husband Sudhanshu and ask him to make some donations. And yet this time I was guided to not ask him to make donations. And so I sat and I said, I know that it's going to be taken care of. How will it get taken care of? Whether it's going to find the money, or a few centers are going to close, it's going to get smaller, it's going to get larger. I don't know what taken care of means. And I don't have to attach myself to an outcome that no, we must do this, we must save this NGO. Well, the NGO is nothing but an entity which becomes tool for our emotions. And so I pretty much, want to stay in equanimity with everything. And so, as and right now I'm chairing that board. So as we were all going through the budgets and we were finding that there are shortfalls, and we said, okay, we'll find out something. A couple days later, somebody wanted to have a call. They had found a person who would be interested in donation, in making a donation to Project Y. And so Anu, the one who started this project, she asked if I could be on the call. And so we go into the call. Anu has recently, Anu has been associated with me for almost 5 years now. She's done my workshop several times, whatever, and she her path is to surrender, and she keeps finding, going back to that path over and over again. But she and I were both on the call, and she's recently done the 30-day miracles course. So and I harp on that, please look within, please look within. And so as we started the call, she said, I'm looking within. I said, wonderful that you're looking within. And we started to have that conversation with the donor. And within about 10 minutes, the donor said, I'm ready to make the donation, and I'm going to donate 14 lakhs. So our shortfall is of 36 lakhs, and 14 lakhs come from a 10-minute call. And so, of course, we are all overjoyed at having found this money. And as we are overjoyed, this person, the next thing that he says is, I'm going to reach out to a few more people. I have friends and family in Delhi. And since Project Y is based in Delhi, then it'll be easier for them to connect, and maybe they will be donating some money as well. And Anu immediately pipes up and she says, yeah, but don't you have people outside of Delhi or outside of the country? Because in my last 14 years, I've found that all of the money, that all of the money that I've collected, only 10% has come from Delhi, because the people in Delhi just don't give. People in Delhi just don't give. And so, it'll be better if you connect us to somebody on the outside, somebody outside of India, maybe in the US or maybe someplace else. And I just immediately stopped Anu, and I said, what kind of a program is this? The past 14 years, if you didn't find money coming in from from Delhi, then it's only because your energy has this mistrust, and Delhi became the tool. Delhi became the tool for this judgment of yours to play out. And even today, as you've changed your energy, in 10 minutes, as we started to talk about money, in 10 minutes, 14 lakhs has already flowed in. You are playing in that frequency where you are getting taken care of. And so, why are you now bringing that old frequency in along with this old program that people from Delhi? There is nobody called people from Delhi. And so that story don't get sucked into. I laughed. I said, Anu, you are from Delhi. And I too. I'm from Delhi. And yet we've given, so many thousands and thousands of dollars, and then and nothing matters. And then here it is, your program of mistrust for people of Delhi. So you've got to let go of the mistrust, and then you will find that everybody in the universe, without any programs, without any judgments, is going to give you whatever it is your need for the hour. And so, how quickly we pick up an old program of mistrust, we pick up an old program of lack. And so she immediately, as soon as that person said the word Delhi, Anu immediately sat in lack. And so we have to be that vigilant to be looking at the judgments that we make, and to not come from lack and to come from abundance. Things like this happen every single day. They happen all the time around us in every aspect of our lives. And so we got to keep looking so closely, so very closely. Okay, everybody. And all of these examples, they're here to make you understand that we are not talking large stuff. We are talking from the smallest things, to the bigger things. Well, finding the budget for an NGO is probably large for some people, but again, for me, it's only always a play of energy. Understanding that if the universe wants it to be there, then it'll find a way, and I don't have to interfere. I simply have to make sure that my energy is in the right place, that my energy is not attached to an outcome, and then whatever happens will be the best. The best, not as I understand it, but the best as the universe wishes it to happen. And so, coming in and flowing from abundance at all times, not getting into thoughts and stories of lack. All right, people, I was about to do the meditation, and yes, we have 10 minutes more to go, and the meditation is going to be short. So I think we shall be able to make it in this. Just switching off the air conditioning here. All right, now just simply take a deep breath in and breathe out, letting go of all the stress. There is none right now, but still, just letting go of the stress. And then breathe in through the mouth, taking the energy from Meenal. Deep breaths through the mouth, the focus on the mouth, on the breath, taking in energy from Meenal, consciously letting go of all thoughts, just letting go of all thoughts. We do this taking in from the mouth because it's more conscious, aware breath. Taking in that breath, and now just the normal breath, Just the normal breath through the nose, through the nose. And now, as your eyes are closed, imagine Meenal in front of you. And look at Meenal as she is dancing. This beautiful swing, and she is dancing, filled with joy and so much anand. And she's dancing. And you are looking at her, and you get into the mood as well. And then you stand up, and now with Meenal, you are dancing. And you are looking at each other, and there is so much masti, so much anand, just joy. And there's that favorite song of yours that's playing, and your favorite dance is happening, and you are swaying, and Meenal is swaying with you. Masti, dancing, music, joy, laughter, all of this is happening. There are so many people dancing around you, and yet you are dancing with Meenal, and Meenal is dancing with you. And as this beautiful dance happens, and you're smiling and enjoying every move, and then you find yourself giving a big hug to Meenal. And now you're hugging and dancing. You're hugging Meenal and you're dancing. And you can feel the energy flow between the two of you. And you find that slowly you start to disappear. And Meenal starts to disappear too. Both of you are simply moving into energy space, smaller and smaller, disintegrating the body form, and only the energy remains. And look at the energy. It's that of joy, the energy of bliss. Your energy and my energy completely of bliss. And in this beautiful, blissful state, you stay dancing with joy, dancing with Meenal, in the heart, this energy of joy. Om Mani.